In this video, we are going to understand how you can collect form responses with multiple choices in Google Sheets. So let's say every time you have received a response through Form Builder application which has got multiple choices, now you want that the information that you have received should be added as a new row in your Google Sheet with the selected option. How can that happen? For this, we are going to integrate your Form Builder application with your spreadsheet, and we can do the same using Pabbly Connect. So here your trigger application will be a form builder application. In this video we have taken the example of Gravity Forms, and your action application will be Google Sheets. Now how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. This here is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect software. You can reach here with the link which is given in the video description. If you are a new user, sign up. It is not going to take more than 2 minutes, and if you are an existing user, you can simply sign in, and once you do that, you will reach this dashboard. On the right hand side, you will see this tab Create Workflow. Click on this, and a dialog box has appeared here which is asking us to name this workflow. Now what is my objective here? That every time there is a form response which has got multiple choices, so the information should be embedded in my Google Sheet with the selected option. So here I'm going to click on Create. As I do that, here you can see we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. So here we have got triggers and actions. Now these triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger here is when this happens, action says do this. Basically, action here is the response of your trigger application. Now, as per this integration, my trigger application has to be a form builder application. So here I'm going to take the example of Gravity Forms. Let's click on this. Next, we have to add the trigger event. Now the trigger event is the event that is going to make this workflow run, and here it will be new response. So here you can see we have received a webhook URL which is going to act as a bridge for connecting Pabbly Connect and Gravity Forms, so that Pabbly Connect can have access to the information received from Gravity Forms. I'm going to copy this. Once done, what we have to do is we have to go to our Gravity Forms. Now this is the dashboard. Here I'm going to take you to Forms. Let's go to the Forms. And here these are the forms that I have created, and now here I'm going to go down, and this is the form that I have recently created, which is a query form. Now let's say that a new HR policy has been initiated, and this is a feedback form. So here we have got the following fields: first name, last name, email address, then we have contact number, department, and here we have got multiple choice answer. So what do you think about the new HR policy? Extremely helpful, need alterations, unacceptable. So here if you want to add more fields, you can always go and click on add fields and then add your fields as per your requirement. Now what we have to do is we have to go to settings, then we have to go to form settings. Now here as we scroll down, we can see webhooks. Let's click on this, and here I'm going to add a new webhook. So let's name it as multiple choices webhook. Okay, now here we have to paste the URL that we have just copied, and once this is done, request method is post, request format is JSON. This is all okay. I'm just going to click on save settings. So here we can see that the settings have been updated. Now taking you back to Pabbly Connect, here you can see it is waiting for webhook response, which means that now we have to do a test submission so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. So I'm going to take you back to Gravity Forms. Here let's click on preview, and now here I'm going to fill in the information. So let's say that name is new, last name here is demo. Then we have got the email, contact number. Let's say the department is finance. And what do you think about the new HR policy? Now, when you are integrating Gravity Forms and Google Sheets, and when you have multiple choices in your forms, for the first time, you are supposed to add all the options and click on submit. So when you are adding all the options, then next time onwards, every time you receive the response in real time, then you can always select the only option that you wish to go ahead with. Okay, so here I'm going to take you to Pabbly Connect, and you can see that we have received the response. This here is the department, then we have got the contact number, email address, then again as I take you down, so here you can see we have all the three options, and here we have the first name and the last name. Now once we have received this information, I'm going to integrate this with Google Sheets. So let's click on this, and the action event here will be add new row. Let's click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect wants to connect itself with Google Sheets account. Let's select add new connection, sign in with Google. And here we have to choose an account. Once this is chosen, Pabbly Connect Sheets wants to access my Google account. Now this is absolutely secure. Let's go to allow. And as we do that, you can see that the authorization has been successful, which means that these two applications are now integrated. Now here we have to select the spreadsheet sheet and we have to fill in the details. So the sheet that I have created is this feedback sheet, where I have got all the fields which were there in my form. And now here you can see that this has already been selected by the system. Now here we are going to fill in this information. So let's click on this. You can see the previous step, and here as I scroll down, this here is our first name. Now this method with which I have added the information here is known as mapping, and this is important so that every time the workflow runs, it can take the new data. Now the next time we had received a new response with some new data, if this was written manually, it wouldn't have taken that data. Instead, it would have taken the same data which was written manually here. To avoid that, we map the information. Next, we have the last name. So again, I'm going to go down. This here is the last name. Now here we have to enter the email address. So this here is the email address. Then we have the contact number. Here it is. Then we have the department. This here is the department. And finally the feedback. Now as I told you, for the first time I'm going to accept all the three. Here I'm going to press shift and enter so that I can come to the next line. So here is the second option, and now I'm going to add the third option. So this is the third option. Let's click on save and send test request. As we do that, here you can see we have received the response. Let's go and check our Google Sheet. And yes, here you can see we have received the response and we have received all the three options. So this is to be done only for the first time. Now, when I take you back to Gravity Forms, and here I'm going to click on preview once again. And here I'm going to fill up the form once again. Let's say the department is HR. And let's say this time I say the policy needs alterations, and as I submit this form, now I'm going to take you back to Google Sheets, and you can see this time we have received only one option. And since this was the second option, so this space and this space is left blank. I'm going to show you one more example. So here let's click on preview. These are the details. The department is marketing department. And here I'm going to select unacceptable. Click on submit. Now you can see that this time unacceptable has been selected, which was the first option, and here we have received the gap. So this is how you can do the same. Now let's say that if you had taken the example of Google Forms, so this is another workflow, and here you can see that we had got multiple choices and we had received all the choices in one line. So when you had received all the choices in one line, then you do not have to do anything. You can simply go ahead by selecting the one option that you want. But in forms like Gravity Forms, when you are integrating the workflow, you have to take all the options. And then when you are doing it in real time, then it can always take the option that you have selected. So I hope this is absolutely clear to you. Let me take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. So here our trigger application was Gravity Forms, the event was new response, and our action application was Google Sheets, the event was add new row. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us. Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group.
If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.